we do have a formal presentation or to go, and Dan's going to be the driver of that, so we might head into presentation land, see how we go.
Okay. Hopefully this
On that one.
works. So
Yay!
that looks pretty good. Yep.
Yeah. Did you talk about how we have our official motto in media,
No, I
Dan?
didn't, but that's probably a good place to start.
All right. So, as part of what we do in this degree, we spend a bit of time thinking about, what we are, who we are, what we stand for, and so forth. And one of the things that we really hope that you get a sense of over the next 3 years of your journey is that the media program is really all about media that thinks. So we're going to spend quite a lot of time unpacking what that means and teasing at that idea and thinking about it from all sorts of points of view. What does that mean? How do you do it? And so forth. So that'll be something that crops up throughout your degree, both in terms of a kind of a motto, but also in terms of coming up on some of the information that you'll see that we'll share with you over the next little while. So Dan, if we could just go to the next slide, that would be awesome. Thank you. So this is the outline for today's session. We're going to have an acknowledgement of country. Then we're going to have a session where we give you a chance to meet up with the fellow people that you'll be studying with for the next few years. Then we've got the important stuff that you need to know. So that'll be the more formal part of the presentation. And that's where the kind of PowerPoint presentation that we're using will come into play. And just to remind you that we'll be uploading this onto the Canvas shell, which we'll talk to you a little bit about shortly, and you can access it again. So you don't necessarily have to take notes, although taking notes is a good thing. Then we'll have a session where we've got some frequently asked questions, and it's really up for you to ask any questions at any time. But yeah, that's a dedicated little section. And then we have some work for you to have a look at from previous students from last year. So that's pretty much what we'll be doing for the session today. So Dan, if you could go to the next slide, please, that would be great. So RMIT has an official acknowledgement of country, but I've started to write my own. So I'm going to read my own one today. As we begin this session today, I'd like to pay my respects to the people of the Wurrung and Burrung language groups of the Eastern Kulin Nations. And particularly I wish to acknowledge the Yakult Willam people on whose stolen land the house where I'm currently conducting the business of the university in RMIT, NAM, otherwise known as Melbourne. I take this opportunity to acknowledge some of the Indigenous screen production leaders and artists whose work I find inspiring and who ask me to rethink what I know about the history of this country and how we might move towards a shared understanding. I've been thinking about how to create a space to stop, to listen and be guided by our First Peoples leaders in this process. Artists such as Rachel Perkins, Warren Thornton, Ivan Send, and Larissa Barrett. The core messages from these artists is the need for truth, justice, and treaty, and the need to take personal responsibility for learning as much as I can about how to act in solidarity in order to authentically work together to shape a shared future that truly recognises the history of this ancient land. Always has been and always will be Aboriginal land. Thank you, Dan. You could go to the next slide. Okay, so let us describe how this is going to work. We're going to allocate you all into random groups of 4 or 5. As people come in, we might move you all into different groups. When you go into those groups, it would be great if you turn your cameras on. You won't be recorded, so it's only just going to be in that little group with the 4 or 5. And with the cameras on, introduce yourself, your name, obviously, pronoun, where you live, and where you're coming from. And just to get the kind of conversation juices flowing, so to speak. Describe a piece of media that has moved you recently. So it could be something that you've really enjoyed watching or listening to or playing if you're a gamer. It could be something that you've engaged with on Facebook, Twitter, although they're a bit old school these days. Um, whatever platform, it doesn't matter. Anything is, as you will learn, everything and anything can be described as media. But something that's moved you, either you've felt about deeply or you've got really angry about it. It doesn't matter. Just something about media that you've engaged with. And between each round, we'll do a countdown, because when we put you into the random groups, it can feel a bit discombobulating. There's a few seconds where you're kind of in this internet ether, and then we'll hit reassign and you'll come into a new group. So just we'll warn you about when that happens, because it can feel a bit shocking if you're in the middle of a sentence. So we'll do that in the chat. So bear with us for just a couple of seconds as we set up the, thank you, Dan, as we set up the groups, and then we'll.
I've done that.
Oh, you have. Thank you, Paul. You're awesome. Do you want to just set it up?
Okay, so you're all about to disappear and then emerge in 17 separate rooms. So imagine the media hotel, and you're all off in.
I don't know if that's the best analogy for first thing on in the morning.
Well, imagine it's a big ballroom and you're all gathering in different corners of the ballroom. Yeah, so we're going to count you down and send you off into the different rooms. As Rachel points out, it is pretty weird the first time you do it. Yep, escape room. That's even worse. Okay, so 4, 3, 2, 1, disappear.
Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you for staying with us through the craziness that is the random group allocation in Collaborate Ultra. We hope that you've met a few people and you've had a chance to, at least exchange some information about yourself, and you'll have someone to talk to on the first day. That was always the idea. But now we're going to do some of the more formal, perhaps not so glamorous, but vital information that you'll need to survive the next little while. So, Dan, if you could go to the next slide, thank you. We thought we'd just talk to you about where you sit, or where the program sits within the RMIT ecosystem. These are terms that you'll be hearing a lot of over the next couple of years while you're with us, or next 3 years. So just to remind you, you are in the Bachelor of Communication Media program, or BP221 is how it will often be seen in different areas. So welcome, part of the broader media family. Ours is a program, and I've used italics there because in other universities it might be called a course, but at RMIT we use the word program, and the subjects that you do we call as courses. So this is just terminology that you'll need to get used to. Soon enough it'll become just natural to you. We all sit in the School of Media and Communication. And in the School of Media and Communication, there's a number of programs. There's the Bachelor of Communication Journalism, the Bachelor of Communication Advertising, the Bachelor of Communication Public Relations, the Bachelor of Communication Professional Communication. There's also a Bachelor of Arts, Music Industry, and a Bachelor of Arts, Creative Writing. And you'll be doing classes with those students as well. So you'll get to know a whole lot of different people from all sorts of different creative walks of life, and they'll become your long-term collaborators within the School of Media and Communication. We sit inside a college, and in other universities they might be called faculties, and our college is called the Design and Social Context, and there are 3 colleges in the university. We're one of them. we're the best, of course, and that's how we all fit within the RMIT ecosystem. We thought it might be useful for you to know that information because at various times you'll be getting communications from any one of those divisions, if you like, within the university. So far you've been getting probably a lot of communication from the broader RMIT university in terms of how to enrol, what to do, all the opportunities for some of the O Day, O Week, and joining the clubs and so forth. And you'll probably over the next few weeks be starting to get some information from the school. But mostly you'll be dealing with us, the staff, in the BCom or the Bachelor of Communication Media program. So next slide, please, Dan. So this is the media team. And as you can see, it's quite large. And most of the people are here today to say g'day and hello. But we might just start with the academic services because I know that they're trying to juggle a couple of different simultaneous orientation sessions. So if Carly could say, turn your camera on and say hello, and Caroline and Mira, that would be awesome.
Hello, how are you? I've met a few of you already in a breakout. Yeah, so I guess I work with a team of other administrators to help resolve academic and student issues within the school, but particularly with the media program. As explained to a few of you, I'm actually a media graduate. Paul was a few years ahead of me way back when. And I'm back in the school currently doing my PhD as well. So yes, this is my kind of day job. So in case Rachel or Dan hasn't mentioned this before, you know, RMIT is currently experiencing quite a few systems issues. So we're aware that some of you may be feeling frustrated. You've been trying to contact RMIT about enrolment or timetabling problems. We're not ignoring you. We just haven't been receiving your emails through the student portal. So we ask that you just be patient with us. Once the systems come back up, there should be heaps of advice to those of you who haven't got your enrolment quite correct. And we will also be able to call you because currently Skype is out. We actually don't have physical phones, so that probably explains a bit about the radio silence, which we're really sorry about. But unfortunately, there's nothing we can do at this point. The main thing is not to panic. We kind of do have it's given us time to have a good look over everyone's enrolments, and we'll be able to help fix things up this week or into the next. So yeah. But we're your first port of call, I guess, and because we are a group of people, you know, we ask that you use the RMIT Connect student portal to contact us, so that where you get a tracking number for every issue. Yeah, and someone will pick it up as quickly as possible. If you have an urgent issue at the moment, you can email the team using Outlook or your browser. Just send an email to media@rmit.edu.au. But as I said, you know, you won't be able to action anything in the system anyway at the moment. So we ask you to just hold off on that unless it's something like you want to apply for credit or you're following up a credit application and you're just wanting to know what courses to enrol into for next week. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Carly. Is Mira still there with us? Yay. We can't hear you, Mira. Just perhaps wave to us. That's Mira. Mira works with the team.
Yeah.
With Carly.
And Mira's also doing her PhD at RMIT as well. So lifelong learners.
Thank you. And is Caroline still with us? No, Caroline hasn't made it. Well, Carly and Mira are the people that you that at the end of that email that Carly that you know about. So we just thought it's a good idea to know who the people are. Thank you, guys. Now we're going to go to Adrian.
Hi, I'm a bit insulted. You said this was the less glamorous part of the thing. I mean, Mira's doing the vacuuming as well, by the looks of it. So, you know, it doesn't get much more glamorous than that. Hi to everyone. Welcome to the media program. You've done extremely well in this program. I probably have the honour, or the whatever you want to call it, being the longest serving first member here. I actually did the media program myself quite some time ago. I've been actually out of the media program for quite a while, and will recently come back into it. I was previously the media program director. I've been the associate dean. I've been the head of high degree research, but now I'm back to my home in the media program and teaching into cinema studies. So you may encounter me in first semester. I'm teaching into introduction to cinema studies. And I'm also teaching Australian cinema in second semester, but I do teach a wide variety of cinema courses. Also, if you go on to become, or you know, it seems a long way away now, I know, a postgraduate, I do supervise a lot of students too. But I have a long history with the media program, so even if you see me in cinema and you want to ask a question about the media program, unfortunately, I probably can't answer it for you. Yes, I do have quite a deep knowledge, I think, anyway, of the program, and it's a great program to work in and to study into. I've done both, obviously. So congratulations for getting into the program, and welcome.
Thanks, Adrian. Now we're going to Alan.
Hi everyone, I'm Alan. I'm a lecturer in the program. I haven't been in the program as long as Adrian. I started in 2019, and I'm really, really happy to be part of the program, and I hope you are all as well. There's a lot of things that I genuinely think are very, very cool about this program, but I'll keep it short. So just one is with the studios, I'm not sure if this has been mentioned already, but they're really framed around a question. So that leads to a lot of experimentation. And I think that's really important and a really great approach to take, because the landscape of media is always changing, and we live in a changing world. So we won't always have the answers, but if we work together to work out, to experiment and to work out what to do, I think that's a really good approach. Another great thing about studying media at university is getting good and practicing at working together. So I really encourage you to do that, and not just practice working together, but also forming networks, because some of your classmates may become your collaborators. That's it from me. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Alan. Alexia.
Is that working?
Yes, it is.
Cool. Hi, everyone. My name is Alexia Canis. Like Adrian just before, I also teach into the cinema stream, cinema studies contextual stream, which is another term that you might hear quite a bit over the course of your degree. So contextual stream is a bit like a minor. So a lot of media students, cinema studies, not all of them, you don't have to, but they're kind of a common pairing that happens. And I think that cinema studies is a good pairing for doing your media degree. A lot of the things that we do in cinema studies really help to kind of build skills and analysis. And we just go to every week. So we encourage you to join the stream as for your contextual stream. I often teach Introduction to Cinema Studies, which is the first semester course, but I'm not actually teaching it this semester. I'm teaching Histories of Film Theory, which is the capstone course. So it's kind of the course that happens on the other end of the stream, towards the end of your degree. But I'm sure I will see you around in other courses over the course of your degree. Likewise, like Adrian said, if you have any questions about cinema and the role of cinema in the media program, please feel free to get in touch.
Thanks, Lexi. Brian. Brian.
Hi. Got me there?
Yep.
Sorry. Slow. Hi, everyone. My name's Brian Morris. My main roles, I'll be meeting a lot of you. I coordinate the course Media 1, so that's the foundation course. Many of you will be going into that, so I'll be seeing you, which is great. I also usually coordinate the final capstone course Media 6, so it's wonderful to kind of see people at that beginning, that end point. It's a real privilege and pleasure to see what's happened to students during the degree. Sometimes I teach a studio on photography, and I'm also one of the co-coordinators of who looks after the kind of the studios. I guess all I wanted to say was that Media 1, the course outline, that will be available on Canvas probably by today, so that's coming soon. You don't need to worry about buying a textbook. You don't need to read anything right away first class. You just need to be there online next Tuesday at 2:30 in Collaborate Ultra in the course itself. And yeah, that's probably about it. Looking forward to having some discussions and with you as we get to that. Yeah, great.
Thanks, Brian. Dan, I know you introduced yourself at the start, but maybe you could just reintroduce yourself to the people who've just arrived.
Hi, my name's Dan Binns. I'm with Rachel. I'm the co-program manager of the BCom Media. For the last few years, I've been the program manager, so I'm now very familiar with the program. I've been here since 2015. I teach into both media and cinema. I run studios on screenwriting, storytelling, and transmedia production. But yeah, really looking forward to getting to know you all over the next few years. It's a great program, and I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun and meet a lot of interesting people. Thanks.
Thanks, Dan. Joy-me.
Oh, hi everyone. My name's Joy Baker. I'm a lecturer in cinema studies, but I'm also the first year academic advisor. So I've chatted to a few of you already who have come in needing credits, needing a plan that's not perhaps the one that everyone else is doing. And if you have an issue like that crops up, please feel free to get in touch with me. I will also be meeting quite a few of you in class because I take our two first year units in cinema studies, so Introduction to Cinema in semester 1 and Popular Cinema in semester 2. And you know, they're really great popular courses. We have large enrollments, so and I'd really just encourage you in all of your courses, no matter what you're choosing, even if you're not choosing cinema, to do what you've been doing today, which is be willing to turn your camera on, even if you know you've woken up and you're feeling gross and you're having a bad hair day and the cat's bothering you in the background. That's all. It's all okay. We've kind of got used to that in this new online environment. Because first year of uni is as much about connecting with people and finding your tribe as it is about learning. So looking forward to meeting some more of you and good luck.
Thanks, Joy-me. Heather, you're up next.
Okay, hello everyone. It's really lovely to meet you all. I'm Heather Jarvis. I've been at RMIT for about 18 months and my thing is really radio and podcasting, and I'm teach into studios or run studios on radio and podcasting. Also, I'll meet some of you because I'm one of the tutors in Media 1, so really looking forward to catching up with at least some of you next week. My own background is 20 plus years at the ABC and in community radio, and also I'm doing a practice-based PhD in podcasting, looking at social change and women and podcasting as a decolonising space. So some of that sort of feeds into, I guess, my studios. I just wanted to say, sort of building on what Alan said before about the whole studio setup, and that was one of the things that really attracted me to RMIT, because I've taught at a couple of unis before coming to RMIT, and I think this studio system that we have here really gives you the chance to, as Alan said, you know, dive deep into a particular topic, really build those sort of practical skills, analytical skills, really reflect on what you're doing and why you're doing it, instead of sort of rushing through, you know, everything with a very limited amount of time each week. So I think you've really come to the right place to get into exploring whatever your passion is through all these different studios that you can get into, and all the other wonderful courses around it as well. So looking forward to meeting some of you over the next couple of years.
Thanks, Heather. Liam, you're up next. Liam, you seem to be on mute.
Oh, we got a cameo from
Oh, sorry, that's okay.
Melba.
You might just need to put it in chat and wave away.
Maybe I'll go.
Yes, and you're next, Paul.
Yep. Oh, hi, I'm Paul Richard. You might remember me from things as breakout rooms. I did the media degree last century sometime, and have been here for quite a while, and have loved it for the last 15 odd years. Yes. Yes. Brian and I. We're getting a reverb here. Liam, maybe if you turn your mic off.
Am I?
Oh.
You're on.
I'll see you all. We'll come in to talk to you in Media One about the studios, and I'll see most of you in your semester 2. Look forward to that. Over to you, Liam.
Okay, I'm Liam, and despite that little technical, you can have utter faith in our capacity to teach you media practice stuff, because don't pay no attention to the debacle that just ensued. Yeah, we know how to use microphones. We know these things. Anyway, I'm Liam. I do teach into some of the studios. So some of you might see me in first semester next year or in second semester this year doing studio stuff. I won't focus too much on that though, because I wanted to focus instead on one of the courses I coordinate, which you will be doing in second semester. That's Story and Place in Media, which is a core unit that we've developed. You'll be the third group of students to come through doing this course, and it's probably one of the. I know everyone's focusing on the studios and how exciting they are, and that's true. But Story and Place in Media is also something very unique to RMIT. What we're doing is we're trying to think about what are the implications of Aboriginal sovereignty, for starters, but the whole idea of contested places and spaces and how they contribute to the stories that we tell. In a nutshell, you could think about it as thinking, well, what does it mean to be a media producer and a storyteller on stolen land? If we take seriously the notion, the reality of Aboriginal sovereignty, then as media producers, we need to think about the implications of that. That's a big question, and we don't have easy answers for it, but it's something we all need to do, and especially as people of your generation graduate and become the next path-forging media producers, you will need to be, have a good grasp of all of the potential implications of Aboriginal sovereignty and so on. So it's an exciting course. It's a challenging course. It involves making a lot of things, but it's also something that I think, well, I hope you'll find it, yeah, stimulating and satisfying and thought-provoking. Certainly the last two batches of students who went through did. So I'll see you there.
Thanks, Liam. And over to you, Seth. Lucky last.
Sorry, just getting that microphone on. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Media at RMIT. This semester, I'll be teaching the school elective Net Media, which focuses on photo and video practices on social media platforms. I'll also be teaching a studio that focuses on social video and producing content for a Melbourne art gallery. We call these partnered projects, and they involve working with industry partners. So every semester, some or a few of the studios or more partner up with industry partners. In the studio, we'll be looking closely at interviewing as a technique, and we'll be working on the documentation of artist practice. So that'll be a fun one, and I'm looking forward to it. Also, an administrative role. I work as the Work Integrated Learning, or what we call the WIL coordinator. So I'm your first stop for getting internships together with external companies, the media industry and beyond. So I'm sure I'll be working with you in that capacity and also in the classroom at some point. Enjoy. Thanks.
Thanks, Seth. That's fantastic. Dan, I'm wondering if you could get the slideshow back up for us, please. Okay, thank you. Back one more, please, Dan. That's excellent. So hopefully you've all enrolled now. Well, you must have enrolled because you wouldn't even be able to be in this session, but you've got your enrolment sorted. This is what the Bachelor of Communication Media, we should get it right, structure looks like. And as you can see, each semester, half of your program is what we call the professional strand. So you'll have media 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Media 1 is the one where you're all coming together. That's the one that Brian's will be taking for this semester. And we do an intro to media and how we teach it in our program. Media 6, at the end of the program, the final semester, again, you come back together and you'll be again, we'll look at what the pathway is post this degree, whether you're going into higher degrees, doing honours, or whether or not you're going into the workforce and what part of the workforce you'll be doing. But in the meantime, between Media 1 and Media 6, you have Media 2, 3, 4 and 5. And that's where we do the studios that everyone's been talking about. And each semester, all the students, either in first and second year or second and third year, come together. So they're vertical. So you'll be in the same class with different year levels. We'll come together and choose from up to 20 studios. So you get to choose. We do a ballot at the beginning of the semester, and each studio has a different provocation, different technology, a different problem that we're seeking to solve through the media. So each semester you'll be getting lots of emails about what studios are on offer and what to choose from. But we'll send you off to the Media Factory, which is our blog where all of that information is housed, and you'll be able to see what other people have been doing over the last few years. I'm loving all of the egg and chickens emojis in there. The other part of the course that you'll be doing is the contextual stream. Most of you would have chosen one of those by now. You need to do 5 courses in one of those streams, but you can swap because you've got these school electives. And that gives you most of the courses that are in the contextual streams are also school electives. So it does give you a little bit of an opportunity if you've chosen one and you think that you would prefer to do another one to get the 5 courses up. There are five of those, and the cinema studies people are linked with our program, as you probably have worked out by now. Then you'll have another core course, which is the one that Liam talked about, Story, Pace and Media, and a couple of university electives. I just wanted to let you know that we do run flex semesters. So that means that we run courses during the November, December period and the January, February period. And that way you can actually speed up your degree, although you do need to do Media 6 in a semester too. So if for some reason you're finding yourself at a loose end in November, December or January, February, keep an eye out. At the end of each year, we send out information about the studios that will be on offer during that time. And occasionally we run a cinema studies course as well. Which also is helpful if you need to pick up an elective. And this is especially interesting and important. So those people who do a global study semester. So I'm saying that because I'm on the assumption at some point we will all be vaccinated and you might be able to do some exchange into a different country. We also occasionally have a limited university electives that are offered in June, July. All of these courses that run in flex semesters are usually intensives or accelerators. So that means we squash in 12 weeks worth of work into 6 or sometimes 4. But these are just things to keep in mind and keep track of. As I said, we're recording this session so you can go back and have a look and listen to what we're saying if you need to double check this information. But that's just the program in a nutshell. Next slide, please, Dan. So Canvas, you've all started using Canvas. This is the main learning management system that we use at RMIT. Each of your courses will have their own Canvas shell, and you enter into the Collaborate Ultra space. So some of the classes this year will be running entirely online, particularly the courses in the contextual stream and particularly in cinema studies. And then your Media 1 or studios will be running, some of those there'll be tutes that are running fully online as well for those of you who can't make it into campus, and then there'll be the option of coming in every second week. So obviously we're still working within the fact that we're in a global pandemic and can lock down at any time, but we were able to successfully run the whole program last year online. So even if we do have to shut down for another snap lockdown, we're prepared and ready to go with all of that stuff. It's just a matter of moving back into the Collaborate Ultra for a couple of weeks. But pretty much Canvas is the main place that you go for all your information about your individual courses. We also have a program shell, and that's where we're broadcasting from now. And in this show, there's lots and lots of information about work attachments and opportunities. We have an industry talks series that Dan runs, and we get some awesome guests from all around the world to come in and talk to us about their media practice and describe the things that they're doing. So I really would recommend participating in that. Again, they'll be run online this year. There's lots of information about film festivals and so forth, screenings, and just general program advice that you can go to. So that's where the kind of more general information about the program often resides. Great, I'm glad that you got to use the Melbourne Women on Film Festival information from there. That's great, thanks. Okay, thanks, Dan. Next slide. Okay, another home for us is the Media Factory blog. This is where all the information is about the media studios that we keep talking about. You'll be able to see the historic, we've been keeping an archive of all of the studios that we've run since 2015 when they started, and you'll be able to see all the work that people have done. That's the link out there. There's also other information and other blogs about legals and so forth, and Paul's just popped that in the chat as well. So there's a fantastic archive of student work if you want to go back and have a look and see what people have been doing over the last few years. Next slide, please, Dan. Next slide, please, Dan. Thanks, great. So as Seth mentioned, Seth is the WIL coordinator for the program. So WIL stands for Work Integrated Learning. That happens pretty much in every course. And what that means is that we simulate industry conditions and simulate exercises and so forth. But we also have a component where all media students must complete 80 hours work attachment before you're eligible to graduate. You can do that at any time from now until the end of your third year. Or the end of Media 6 if you're joining us as a student coming in from the advanced diploma and diploma. Basically, for your work attachment to qualify, you need to be supervised by a media practitioner. We have been quite flexible, obviously, with the onset of COVID, and we'd still managed to get all of the students through last year. So even though they might not have necessarily gone into particular workplaces on site, they were working in lots of really diverse and interesting media businesses. And lots of our students actually end up getting jobs from their work attachments, so they're offered positions because they're also awesome and they do such a great job. So this is a really fantastic way to get to know people. You're allowed to do more than one, so keep that in mind. But the thing is, you need to make sure that you get insurance and approval before you start. So RMIT will insure you while you're working for and doing your work attachment. So that's really useful, and a lot of businesses and organisations need that. So there is a little process, and again, Paul's put the information in the chat there. You will be getting lots of emails from Seth in relation to opportunities. They come at us, sometimes 10 a week. And they're all, if you get a message from Seth about a WIL opportunity, that means that it's been vetted by us, that we've checked it out, it's bona fide, it's not someone just asking you to do their web video or so forth. So make sure that you do that. The other thing we wanted to let you know about, there is a school elective or option, which is called Media and Communication Internship. If you do that course, which is a 12 credit point course, it doesn't actually count towards your 80 hours. We recommend that you think about doing that because that's a fantastic structured way to think about doing an internship, but it is a separate subject. And we would say to you, if you are going to do that, it's probably best to be thinking about doing that in second year and third year. It's probably not necessarily the best choice for first year. So if there's any questions about all of this, obviously we'll follow that up in the frequently asked questions section. So, or you can pop them in the chat, and the other staff will be able to answer them. So next slide, please, Dan. Gear and books. So some of you have been asking those questions, which is completely reasonable and relevant. But what you probably need to know is that for most of your courses, not all of them, but for most of your courses, the readings that you need to do will be embedded into the Canvas shells. They will often link back out to the library. So it will take you on a slight journey. That's just to ensure that we've got all our copyright things in a row and so forth. And if you do need to purchase a book, the information about that will be in the Canvas shell. Probably your main piece of that you need to do this degree is a computer. Now, that's pretty much standard for any uni degree these days. Mac or PC, we don't really care which one works for you is the best thing, but it does need to have a working webcam. We recommend that you have at least 50 gigs free so that it's got enough processing grunt. And that we also really, 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 really recommend that you have a backup hard drive of at least 50 gigs. Although they're cheap enough to buy terabytes these days. So these are things that you can, you just get. In terms of getting to your Canvas shells, usually if you go to RMIT students, so if you log into the website and go to students, you should be able to take you through some, navigate that way. And they will appear in on that learning, just the ones that you're actually enrolled in. So you should at any given time have at least just four Canvas shells. So there'll be the program Canvas shell plus the 3 subjects that you're enrolled in. But we'll go back and have a look at that again in a couple of minutes and put those links in. Okay, thanks, Amy. Good question. We'll be using the Adobe suite of software, and it's free for you. So that's fantastic. It used to be that you had to subscribe, but we've worked out a way to allow you access for free. And again, we'll be talking to you about that in your classes one by one. So basically, a computer and Adobe are the main things that you'll be using in this degree. We also highly recommend that you purchase a tripod for your phone or video camera if you've got a separate one, and preferably that you can adjust the height to. And you can usually get those on the internet for about $30. So it doesn't have to be anything particularly flash or special, but these really will make a difference to the quality of the work that you make. So much of the work that we use is using our what we call vernacular kind of technology. So our phones or computers these days, it's really easy to do all of that stuff. But having that tripod just makes it a little bit easier. And sometimes you can buy, cheap lights. I'm going to guess that quite a few of you are probably already uploading content onto YouTube or Instagram or TikTok and so forth. So you might already have your own little setups, but it really is worth just having a little play around and seeing what's out there. And we recommend you get those ready to be making media. Thanks, Dan. Next slide. Okay, here's all the stuff about the technical services and edit suites. So as a student in media, you have access to quite a lot of gear. It's all housed in Building 8 and Building 9 at RMIT City Campus. You can borrow a range of cameras, tripods, microphone lights, whatever you need to complete your assignments, you can borrow from there if you want. We obviously, by offering the program online, we have designed it so that you can do it with the equipment that you have at home on your computer and using your phone and so forth. But you do have access to this gear, and even if you're not coming into class every couple of weeks, which is what we're planning for the next to run the semester, you can still borrow the gear through what we kind of calling click and collect. So you'll need to book ahead of time and don't leave it to the last minute. Mostly because at the moment there's quite a bit of time built into the system in order to quarantine the gear between the bookings. So we've got that quarantine down to about 24 hours, but we do need to be booked up ahead of time. So don't leave everything to the last minute and expect to be able to borrow it, because for various reasons, certain number of cameras will be in or out of the system due to where they're in terms of the quarantine. The techs have asked us to tell you that they've actually put in quite a few robust COVID protocols for equipment and facility usage this year, obviously, and to make sure that when we're using all of the different spaces that we wipe down the surfaces. There'll be heaps of wipes and alcohol sprays and so forth, and hand sanitizer and so forth everywhere. So just to keep all those in mind. But there's the link, and thanks, Jomi, for popping the link back in there for the tech service. I really would recommend that you bookmark that page because it'll become really important. And it's also worth noting that a couple of the techs are also graduates of this program. So David Stanley and Jeremy Botel, who you'll meet, have both also completed the program at various times and taught into the program as well. So they're quite knowledgeable about what we do in the program and the gear and the staff. So yeah, become good friends with them, I would recommend. Next slide, please, Dan. Here are a whole lot of important dates coming up. As I said, these are things, we'll be putting this recording into the program shell, so you'll be able to come back and look at these. But we thought we'd just quickly run through a couple of them just so you can get your head around it. Obviously, classes start next Monday. Unlike some unis, where they might put off a week before they start tutorials, we start straight away. So absolutely go straight for it. Yes, Nicole will be posting the PowerPoint up into the Canvas, and then I'll send you out a link so you can see it. RMIT, unlike most other universities, actually gives us all of the public holidays. So most universities only observe the federal holidays, but RMIT, because of our history as a working man's college from the 1800s, we actually observe all of the public holidays, which is fantastic. And I'm not going to say except because I can see Liam in the corner, especially because Labor Day, which is on March 8th, but it does just happen to fall on the second Monday of the semester. So just be aware that we'll have 1 week of classes and then we'll have 1 public holiday on that first day. There are a couple of other dates is that it'll be the last date to add classes, the same day as that. Census date, which means that's the last date for you to withdraw classes if you don't want to be charged for them. So at that point, that's where the government says, all right, you're enrolled in this course, you have to pay for it. Okay, you can withdraw from the course a little bit later and not actually have the grade recorded against your transcript, but you will still have to pay for the course. So this one is very, very important, the census date. It's more important than ever this year because, as you know, prices have gone up in terms of these degrees. So please, please, please take seriously all of the emails that you get about census date. If there's a course that you think you're not loving, and you think that you're not going to be able to complete by the end of semester, make sure you talk to Joimi or to me or to Dan about that course because it's really, really, really important. Just want to talk to you about Easter. So again, we do the mid-semester break a little bit strangely here at RMIT. The first week, it's week 5, so we normally break it up into I conceptualize it as week 5A and then week 5B. So it is technically 1 week, but if you think about the first half of the week is on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then there's no classes on the Thursday, and then it's Good Friday, Easter Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then you have Wednesday off, and then the following week, Thursday and Friday become 5B. So I'm just pointing that out because often you'll have work that's due around that time. A lot of staff will give you until after Easter before submission, but it's still technically week 5. So You'll have 1 full week off, but it will be a split week. And then in the semester ends at the end of May, and then there's a week 13, which is often thought of as swap vac or exam prep, but we use it in this program for your exhibitions and presentations and all sorts of different things. Then we have Queen's Birthday, and then a semester break, and we're back, and results for semester 1 are released in July, and then we come back the following week to semester 2. So they're just some important dates. You'll be getting lots of emails in relation to them and so forth. So Olivia's asked a fantastic question about whether you have exams at the end of the semester, and that does depend on what course you do. Mostly no will be the answer to that. There's no courses in the media program or in the cinema courses. There are occasional quizzes and tests and so forth that usually happen during the semester, but generally speaking, we're not a program, and nor are we a school that sets exams. So that's one thing you don't have to worry about usually in a media degree.
Can I just jump in there, Rachel, quickly to say, we recommend, even though there aren't any exams, we recommend that we state that you have to hang around for at least weeks 13 and 14, because that will be when things like, as you mentioned, Rachel, the exhibitions will be happening. There'll be final meetings with clients, for instance, if you're doing a partnered studio. There's just a lot of things happening even in those couple of weeks after teaching finishes. So don't book holidays or anything until, well after that.
Absolutely. The official semester break begins on the 28th of June. So there'll be a few weeks there that you don't have classes in weeks 13, 14 and 15, but the official break starts on the 28th of June. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, it can be really disruptive to your fellow classmates and to your teacher if you book to go away on the 1st of June, for example. You'll be missing out on lots of really important stuff. So that's something to think about. Thanks, Dan, for pointing that out. Academic integrity. Yeah, most of you, I think, understand what that means. We have to put this in as part of our introduction to the program, but we will be supporting you in thinking through what that looks like, and particularly when it comes to what it means in media production and so forth. So there's the obvious one about not cheating on your, not downloading an essay and handing it in as your own, and making sure that you cite correctly and reference correctly. But there's also some little nuances for us in terms of copyright and so forth. But we'll definitely be exploring those in your courses and in Media 1. And there are heaps of fantastic resources in relation to doing that. So if it's something you want to get a little bit of a head start on, again, I suggest that you go to that link. There's a micro cred, which we ask you to do in the courses. It's quite easy, but it really explains all of the differences because some of them are a little bit nuanced. Around collusion and so forth. So have a little look at that stuff if you want to. Thanks, Jomi, for putting that link in. Thanks, Dan. Okay. Get and stay connected. Okay, this is again pretty vital and important information. We ask you to check your RMIT email at least once a day. Many of you will just put it on as notifications on your phone and so forth, or you might even pop it to your other email address. But it is really, really important for you to make sure that you check it at least once a day. It is the main way in which the university and the staff communicate with you. So that's really, really important. The other thing is that as staff, we're not really allowed to respond to non-RMIT email addresses. So that's just something worth noting. You might occasionally accidentally send us one from your Gmail, or whatever mail service you use, and we might have to just say to you, can you send it again through your RMIT, just so that it keeps it official. We do have an official, unofficial Facebook page, and it's full of current and graduated students. So feel free to ask to join. There's a couple of little questions to make sure that you are a media student. So it is just for our program. Which app should you use to connect your email to our phone? I've downloaded the Office 365 app myself. Yeah, so the Outlook app is what I use. I've just got an Apple phone, so I find that really useful. And then I can distinguish between my different emails. Makes it a little bit easier for me. So yeah, the official one's fine. Oh, Airmail or Spark. Okay, I might try those myself. So please feel free to go onto Facebook, search for RMIT Media, and then apply to join, and one of us will let you in. The Student Staff Consultative Committee, the SSCC, if any of you are interested in and joining us as a rep, that we would welcome you. And we need reps from every year level, and that comes together a couple of times a semester, just to kind of talk through things that are happening, good things and things that need support and help resolving. So if you're interested in being a rep for your year level, please make sure to contact Dan or I whenever today, if that's something you're interested in. We'd love to have you on the committee. As I said, it only meets a couple of times a semester. There's a few things that you can do in terms of getting skilled up in that area. So once you've, if you put your hand up for that job, the university offers some leadership modules and so forth. So it's a really great way to kind of get a sense of how things work and why they work a particular way, and also to really influence things. So over the years, we've had quite a lot of success through the SSEC in being able to lobby the university more broadly for certain things. So particularly as it relates to resources and access and all sorts of stuff. So it is actually really, the university really does take what the students say very, very seriously. So we would recommend that you absolutely do that. As Carly said way back when, half an hour or so ago, the main way to contact the academic team or to get help with most things is to go through the RMIT ServiceNow RMIT Connect, and that's a really good way of just having your email in the system. Hang on, the cat's just wanting to say hello again. I thought she was asleep on the bed before. Okay, thanks everyone. Next slide, please, Dan. Okay, like any public institution, coming to campus in 2021 is a procedure, and everything you need to know about how you access and come to campus is on the Students Return to Campus page. But what is critical and what you need to do now, if you haven't already done it, is make sure you organise your student card, because you'll need your student card to swipe in and register when you come to campus, and also you'll need it to get into the buildings and to get into your classroom. So it's really, really, really critical that that's something that you get sorted now. There's a bit of a, we've all been dealing with Australia Post. Okay, it probably is the system, Kyla. We'll look into that as well, and I'll give you an update in the next little while. As probably most of you have heard by now, either through the RMIT official channels or through the ABC news channel, RMIT suffered a fairly significant cyber attack last week. So they're still just rebuilding and building the connection. So most of the standalone applications we find, it's just some of the connections between the bits that talk to each other that have needed to be rebuilt. So that's where we're at the moment, but hopefully that is happening as we speak. I'm pretty sure we've got extremely exhausted IT staff everywhere. If you haven't completed the COVID safe training module, please do. It's pretty straightforward. It took me, I think, about 20 minutes, and that was me being a girly squat and reading everything. Most of it is common sense. So, Olivia, I have to say I'm not entirely sure whether it's affecting my timetable and changing classes at the moment. I'd have to double check and get back to you, but we will check. I don't want to be in that situation where I'm blaming everything on the IT thing, but I suspect it might be, but I'd have to double check that at the moment. But because it's a whole of systems outage, everyone is aware of it, and everyone is aware of that there'll be extra time that we might need to kind of smooth those things out. So, oh, thanks, Dan. Yeah, so yes, it is. But they are coming on day by day, so it's just a matter of double checking. Yeah. Okay, so basically it's just email and Canvas, which is, yeah, thanks. We'll get there. They are building it. When you do come to campus each day, make sure to do your daily health declaration. This goes, what you have to do is exactly the same of what all the staff have to do when they come to campus. So we also have to make sure that we have our staff card, that we've done the training module, that we have declare our healthy, do a health declaration. You have to make sure that your Wi-Fi is turned on, because that's how they're doing some of the tracing. Scan your ID card, and obviously we have to abide by state government rules in terms of mask wearing and so forth. So the recommendation is always to have at least a mask. There will be a few stations set up if for whatever reason you've forgotten a mask, you'll be able to collect one. But most people will need a mask to get to uni anyway, because you have to wear it on public transport. So these, as I said, are fairly standard across the board. We're all getting used to checking in wherever we go. So thanks for that. And Dan, second last slide. So hopefully some of you have already participated in the How to RMIT sessions that are on offer. But if you haven't, I absolutely urge you to do that. They are designed for students, by students, and delivered by students. There's two sessions. There's the Get Ready and Get Ahead sessions. I've just put some of the dates, which I just basically downloaded from the website last night. So there's plenty of opportunities, and it's also a great way to meet other students from other parts of the university, because they have lots of, yeah, you just get to meet a really diverse group of people. So I really recommend them. They've been incredibly successful in just kind of sorting through the kind of simple ways to navigate what is a complex system. So RMIT is actually the second largest university in the country. Monash beats us by a few thousand students, not that many. So it's a big, complex organisation. And as we can, if you remember way back when at the beginning of the slides, you know, we sit within quite a complex ecosystem. So this this session really helps you understand where it all is and where it all happens. So next slide, please, Dan. Okay. I'm going to kind of stop talking now, because I'm running out of steam, and I am absolutely positive that you're probably bored with my voice, because I'm bored with my own. But one thing we want to talk to you about, and we're going to show a video that we've pulled together, but just to let you know that uni is way more than just attending classes and doing assignments. Obviously, as the lecturers and tutors and workshop facilitators, that's your main interaction with us. But we can't encourage you more, although that doesn't sound quite as fluent as I was meaning to. We really, really, really urge you to get involved with all of the other organisations that you have access to at RMIT. And as media students, obviously you would be wanting to think about RMITV, SYN FM, if you're under 26, Catalyst, which is the newspaper. A lot of journalism students are often involved, but also media students. They really love diverse content and they're looking to expand across different platforms. There's heaps and heaps of different clubs and societies for every sport you can imagine. We've actually had heaps of students come through the program who are cheerleaders, dancing. There's just so many exciting and interesting and fun things to do, and it's really important part of being a uni students to do all of those things. And another little piece of advice which we want to communicate is that for the students that do well and can find work when you finish, they're often the students who've been quite heavily involved in RMITV or SYN FM or Triple R and so forth. So really cannot encourage you enough. And when you get to third year, when you have to do the CV writing part of the course, if you haven't been involved in one of the clubs or societies or in one of the media outlets, it's sometimes hard to figure out what else to put in there other than you've passed your courses, which is of course very, very important. But yeah, we really want to encourage you to get involved in all of that stuff. So now we're going to work out how to show the video.
That's all right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paste a link into the chat, and if you want to go away and watch that in YouTube, and then wander back just for a couple of last messages from us to wrap things up. Sound okay, Rachel?
Yeah, excellent. Thank you.
All right, I'll put this in there now. Head off and watch it. It goes for about sort of 15 minutes or so. Lots of great messages from a lot of our friends in the different clubs and societies and things about campus. So yeah, and head back to us when you're done. There you go.
Wamanjika Marambik Bunurong Namda Baruptan Aka Willem. Welcome to our beautiful home, the lands of the two Great Bays. Congratulations on your choice to study and start your journey. Your learning will lead you to reflect on new ideas, opportunities, and guidance in your direction. 2,000 generations of our ancestors engaged in learning on this land. Learning is passed on through knowledge and story. I welcome you to reflect on this. Connect to your learning environment and respect the laws of the land. Bunjil taught us to always welcome guests, but he required us to ask all guests to make a number of promises. One, not to harm the lands and waters and not harm the children of Bunjil. Wishing you well with your studies here in RMIT.
Hi folks, let's say for instance, you want to do some research on this guy, Ned Kelly. The films on this guy, Ned Kelly. How would you go and where would you go? Well, I mean, you could read my book on Ned Kelly and the films on Ned Kelly. However, let's say, for instance, you want to do your own research. Where would you go and what would you do? Well, unfortunately, the libraries are now discarding most of their hard copy books and their books on early histories of cinema. So the AFI film collection is more crucial now than ever before, because what they do is they actually keep their hard copies in storage. So you can actually go and you can look at the books. I'm talking about these kinds of books, ladies and gentlemen. The books that are actually about Australian film history. The books that aren't really being written anymore, and the books that haven't been digitized. These books, you have to actually go and get your hands on them yourself. And the only way you can do serious histories on Australian film history is by actually getting hold of these kinds of books. You can't get it at most of the libraries because most of the libraries have got rid of these sorts of books, but you can get it at the AFI Research Collection. It's your one-stop shop for all your research needs. Get in there and get in there now. And as Rick Thompson once said to me, Steve, once you step foot inside the AFI Research Collection, you may never want to leave. See you now.
Hi, I'm Ellie from Catalyst Magazine, RMIT's flagship publication run for students by students. You can find us right in the hub of the Media Collective on RMIT's City campus at Building 12, Level 3, Room 97. So what is Catalyst? What do we do? So Catalyst celebrates the work of all creative students at RMIT, as well as covering topical issues such as politics, student issues, business, sports, entertainment, and even some fun lifestyle pieces. The magazine is also a great resource for student union information and any upcoming events RMIT is holding. So Catalyst is open to all students across all of RMIT's campuses. So if you wish to write a feature article, maybe showcase a recent project, or merely curious to know more about the people behind Catalyst, you can email us at catalyst@rmit.edu.au, and of course follow us on social media. So we're really looking forward to seeing everyone on campus this year, running some events, and hopefully meeting some new people into our magazine. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Maddie. I'm the community manager at SYN Media, and I'm here to tell you about SYN. So SYN is a media organisation by young people and for young people. We're powered by a community of volunteers who are all under 26, and we make content for radio, podcasts, TV, online, whatever. If it's media, we'll give you a platform to make it. We believe that the best people to speak for young people are young people, and that we should be creators and not just consumers of media. We also run programs for our members who are looking for professional development. So we have an industry mentorship program where we'll pair you up with someone in the media industry who can give you advice on starting your own career. And we have a leadership development program if you want to throw yourself in and be an executive producer. We also run industry-led workshops and Q&As. We've got a pretty big community of SYN alumni who have entered the media industry, who are always more than happy to come and chat to our current members. We are in Building 12, like right underneath the campus store and that like really good burrito place. That's actually a hot tip if you're a new student. There's a really nice burrito place on Bowen Street, and if you grab a burrito, walk inside and go down the stairs, then you'll see us. If you're coming from Swanston Street, then there's like the revolving doors and you can just go in, don't go up the escalators, go to the left of the escalators, then you'll see our beautiful studios, and if you keep going down, then you'll eventually get to our office. If you want to get involved, then you just have to complete our training program. At the moment, you start off with an online training where you learn about media law and producing and presenting for radio. And then after you do that, you can start making content straight away, even before you learn how to use the studios. We've got a lot of remote programs going on at the moment. And then you'll come into our studios for a studio induction and learn how to use all of our equipment. And once you finish that, you can go live on air. There's more info on all of that if you go to our website. So you can go to syn.org.au/SYN-induction. That's SYN, SYN, Student Youth Network. And if you have any questions, then get in touch with me. My email is community@syn.org.au. Thanks. I hope I'll see you around soon.
G'day everyone, my name is Liam Thompson. I'm the Communications Officer at RUSU. I'm here to talk about how RUSU can make your student life better, both inside and out of the classroom in 2021. You can find our RUSU student counters on campus at Building 12 and 57 in the city, Building 202 at Bundoora West, and Building 514 at Brunswick. You can also access all the details and join up online at the RUSU website. RUSU is RMIT's only 100% student-run organisation. We're here to help out, we're here to have your back throughout your entire RMIT experience. If you're having issues with your degree, you can contact our student rights officers. They'll be able to let you know what your rights are, provide you with advice, and also advocate for you with the university if you need it. If you're having issues outside of university, you can contact Compass. Compass provides free counselling for RMIT students. It's something we're very proud to provide for you. And also at RUSU, our purpose is to give you a voice, is to be able to allow you guys to pass on things to the university and to make meaningful change here at RMIT. So if there's anything you want to see changed at RMIT, or anything you think we can help out with, please do not hesitate to contact us. You can become a 2021 RUSU member by going to our website, rusu.rmit.edu.au/join. Fill out the form, it costs $10 for a yearly membership. Collect your sticker from the info counters around campus. We've got a heap of great giveaways and events coming up, so you definitely don't want to miss out. If you want to experience uni life from more than just behind a computer screen, RUSU membership is the best way to go about it. At RUSU, we're massive believers that student life goes far beyond just what you do in the classroom. Especially after the terrible, terrible year that was 2020, we all deserve a great and vibrant, exciting student community here at RMIT, and RUSU is here to help provide that. So please join us as a RUSU 2021 member. Follow us on social media to keep up to date with everything great that we're doing around campus. And feel free to drop by and chat to us at any time at one of our info counters or through our social media. On behalf of everyone at RUSU, welcome to RMIT and have an amazing 2021.
Hi, my name is Bill. I'm the manager of RMITV. RMITV is an organisation which you can join if you're a student at RMIT. We make broadcast TV, we make animations, short films, documentaries, most of which is broadcast on Channel 31. We've been around since the 80s, the late 80s. Many of our alumni have gone on to bigger and better things. We've had some talent come through such as Rove McManus, Hamish and Andy, Walid Ali, Joe Stanley, Peter Hellier. Some of our crew, many of which I've worked with personally, now work at the ABC, Channel 9, Channel 10. Some have gone on to bigger budget films such as The Avengers. Any skill level is more than welcome. We have shows for less experienced crew and more experienced crew. If you want to join or just find out some more information, you can go to our website, rmitv.org.
Hi guys, Sienna here from RMIT's Media Communications Collective, or MAC. First off, welcome to the School of Media Communications. I'm sure you must be pretty excited to get to know your fellow classmates as well as start to learn a little bit more about the industry that you'll be heading into. So at MAC, we've got plenty of things for you to get involved with to help you feel more at home and connect with the other people in the School of Media Communications. So we've got plenty of things like pub crawls, trivia nights, potentially a ball. We'll see what happens. Work in progress. And plenty of things for you to get on board with to be able to help you connect with others. So jump on board, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at RMIT Mac, and we'll hope to see you around soon.